Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll probably roll.
Alderman Falconberry.
Here.
Alderman Norton.
Here.
Alderman Williams. Here. Alderman Joyce.
Here.
Alderman Hill.
Here.
Alderman Laura.
Here. Get approval of the agenda. Is there anything being recorded? First and second, we call roll.
Alderman Joyce. Alderman Hill.
Yes.
Alderman Lawrence.
Yes.
Alderman Falconberry.
Yes.
Alderman Norton.
Yes.
Alderman Williams.
Yes. Approval of the minutes.
Make a motion.
I'll second. For the first and second. Got first and second, we call roll.
Alderman Falconberry.
Yes.
Alderman Norton.
Yes.
Alderman Williams.
Yes.
Alderman Joyce.
Yes.
Alderman Hill. Yes. Alderman Lawrence.
Yes.
We don't have anything that requires public hearing.
Any citizens here? Any citizen input? I think y'all heard enough of my communications for tonight. I might get it in to a little bit more. Town administrator's report.
Any questions on anything in the report, be glad to answer. A couple of these things will be coming up a little later. We can go ahead and discuss that the county had called. And Todd, I'm gonna need your help on this one. The county had contacted Chris on the property that we had annexed recently, and said that only a portion of it in the beginning was actually in the city limits, and a portion of it was not in the city limits. So what do we need to do to correct that situation?
Yeah, I saw that in the report, but I didn't know exactly. You're talking about the first parcel
Yes.
was only partially within the city town limits?
According to the assessor's office, yes.
And so then the subsequent parcel would have been still entirely outside the city limits.
Correct.
Well, I mean, we had that issue with respect to the statute to begin with. I think we'd have to just look and see where the corporate limits were originally. I guess my first, without seeing exactly what they're talking about, my first reaction would be we'll probably have to redo both annexations, one to get the first parcel in. Again, without knowing where the county is saying the line is, and I guess we would want to verify that as well, make sure that's correct.
But they didn't have it on their,
Well,
it's not
It's,
displayed.
it's actually showing here, on our map that we were using, this full parcel was shown inside the city limits,
Okay.
and they're only showing this portion inside the city limits. So according to them, when we annexed, this was the only portion that was already inside the city limits.
And the next parcel that we annexed was the one to the south there.
This one and this one.
So, I mean, if that's correct, that subsequent annexation is got to be invalid, I would think. If we would need to, and I don't know have the part, or I can't see the parcel numbers, but it seems like we would have to annex all of, is that 90?
Yes.
We would need a resolution to annex all of 90 first. And then the adjoining parcels after that.
And just repeat the ones that we did following that.
Why the discrepancy?
The, like I said, the map that we were using, when we first looked at this, I was under the understanding that that whole parcel was inside the city limits.
Because it's unusual, isn't it, for parcels to be separated?
Yeah, I don't think in any of the conversations that Jeff and I had, I'm assuming you thought that whole parcel was inside the city limits.
No, I knew it was a corner of it, but I thought it was just the front part. I know there was a couple acres on the front, from what I understood, that was in the city limits already. I knew some of it was in the city limits. Now, as far as, actual,
No, they come to us and told us that that man that owned that property then was gonna sell it all. And so we run and jumped and we put it in the city limits where we could make sure he didn't get us messed up again on it. Where I was on the front up here, he had that too, and he was trying to get rid of all of it, so we make sure that was in the city, and we heard he was gonna put a bunch of stuff out there.
all right.
And that's the reason we went ahead and put it in the city limits in.
That's the map that I was going by that shows it all inside.
So maybe
Yeah, 'cause
we
it-
did, but it just never got filed at,
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah.
Got filed with the property assessor. That could very well be.
How do we know that we weren't right and Debbie wrong?
That's
It's possible.
Possible.
There's a discrepancy for some reason, and we're just gonna take their word for it.
Do we have any idea when that was annexed?
Marcia,
That parcel?
I don't know what
Except when
I
Howard
know
Laws
this
bought
John
it.
and Son then bought that property they bought up there, and we heard he was living in
Except when Howard Laws bought it from Jerry Gentry.
Then when me and Mark originally looked at it, it's, was the whole thing, just like you're saying, the whole thing shows to be in the city, so that's what we knew, it was in the city according to all the maps that we had.
So
that we
there's
were
been
saying.
a problem somewhere, so basically the easiest way to go about it is just go ahead and re-annex
Well,
it.
yeah, I think it'd be worth digging a little bit to see if we can find an annexation ordinance that does have the entire parcel, so we don't jump through that, but if we can't, then
clean it up at the next meeting.
yeah.
I suspect we did it somewhere.
So where does that leave us on it? Where are we at?
I guess it means that we're going to investigate and see if we've already got it annexed, and then next meeting, if we don't find paperwork on that, or even if we do, we'll take action on it.
So what do I need to do? Do I need to go down, figure out what's going on down at the county with that, or?
We'll look through our records in here and see exactly what we've got as far as when we annexed it the last time. And that should tell us exactly if it was a portion or if it was the whole thing.
So, let me get this straight. The county's saying that it wasn't, all of it wasn't in the city limits, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So,
I know that Charles White property was not in the city limits. But, you bought that from them later on.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you
You
said.
bought that property later on.
I bought all three of those pieces at one time. I bought them all at one time. That whole front piece, that big open
I mean,
field.
when we put that in there, that was not in the city limits, and that's since Charles Rogers still had that.
Right. Rogers we had put in, this we annexed into the city also. Yeah, that was not in the city limits.
That would be the only way right in there, wasn't in the city limits, wasn't in the city limits.
Right, and then the back piece wasn't. There's another.
I think part of that back piece was voted in there, but it didn't get there.
Okay, so you think that part of it was already in the city limits on the back piece also? Huh, okay.
That's my memory, remember, is right.
So what time frame does that put us on if it wasn't actually annexed?
the county said it wasn't.
Property assessor.
Property assessor. Okay. So they have no record, they only have a record of a part of it being in the city limits? Okay.
Correct.
They got the front part of it there.
Right.
Is that not right?
That's
They
correct.
got the front part of it
Back
next
part's
to
not.
99, but the back part's not.
Of that, the old big open field?
Right.
Okay.
Because if you know where the old long shed is there,
Right.
old Scott saw me, wasn't gonna call it what
Right.
it was. That other shed, and the city's got a thing there to go back to the water tower.
Right.
It's just a little bit right there around that water tower thing belongs to those Jerry Gentry's. Is that right? When it was old little sale to Howard Walls.
Jerry worked it, I don't know whether he owned it or
Right.
not.
No, he bought it. He bought it the day it sold from an auction out there.
Howard Wall bought it, and that's when we run put it in the city limits.
So Jerry Gentry owned it.
That goes back quite a bit.
Right, it goes way back under.
But that'd be 2099, somewhere in that area back in there somewhere.
No, it was back in the 1980 or 70s, 80s. No, I'm talking about when Jerry Gentry bought that. Because they cut it up, they sold it in lots. And I wanted the old house place in the well. That's what I was wanting. And I bought it, but they grouped it all together, and Jerry Gentry bought it $30,000, the whole place.
Well, we'll just have to look back at the end of,
I mean, I'm thinking somewhere right in there where we put it back into our old city.
Yeah.
So we just go on the next meeting, we're gonna have to get to the bottom of that, figure that out, and then we just move forward from where we're sitting right here.
but I don't think it's a problem.
No, I mean, I don't think so either. more
It's just some
paperwork, so.
agitation.
Yes, very much so. So, do you need me to find anything out on my end?
I don't think so, Jeff, but it wouldn't hurt. I mean, if you want to just explore them, you know.
I'll go down to I'm down there all the time, so I'll go down there and find out, see why they have it like that. What was because everyththing that I've seen is what you've seen. It's been
Now, we
insane.
may have something like here on file too.
Right.
That'll help you, us too, and everything, keep us do legwork, can't do all that. We do all we do in Caricata, where we load in, take it inside the city limits, and they never did add to it.
Couple of these other things on the report we got coming up in a couple of resolutions. Be glad to answer questions now or when the resolutions come up.
May I ask a question about the waste management contract? It
Yes,
says it requires an amendment. What does it require?
They have come to us and they're going to require an amendment to our contract that basically says that their rate will increase what they charge us based on the CPI. I think each year is how that's stated.
So it means our rates are going up.
Their rates would increase, and they would increase annually if that resolution to renew is approved. And what I was wanting to get is guidance from the board on if we do increase, if we do accept that increase, that'll put us right on that line where we'll be charged more than what we're charging the customers. It'd be, both of them be right around that 1050 point. So we would have to then look at our garbage rates, and we wouldn't
On
have.
top of water and
Oh,
sewer.
yes. So I wanted some guidance from the board as to whether or not you wanted to go ahead and renew, or if you wanted me to put out an RFP.
If somewhere I got the feeling that someone had shown interest in, I say, I think it would be worth looking into.
I do too.
So, you know, the waste management's been good service, I agree with that, but
I think
we're
it's been
raising
good
water
service, and I think
sewer
it'll come in the
trash.
cheapest. I think they'll come in the cheapest, but I do think we should explore it. That's just for appearances.
And I can have that ready for the next meeting.
Oh, now, the board year, just two of us.
Two.
You and I.
Well, no,
Oh, Tommy went.
Tommy was there too.
Did we have to go? It's like we didn't go.
That's half of what you needed, I believe. So everyone else,
Y'all have to
We
go
got to
to
get
one
the
that
whole
we don't
thing.
have to
everyone
go
else
to.
has to get the whole
Okay.
thing, but you should be
Well,
you should be done for a while in March.
Okay. That sounds
March
good.
the 7th. Oh, calendar's filling up.
Y'all looked over the fire report?
Sure.
I appreciate it being broken down.
May I go back to the codes report? I read this, and it seems to me that my opinion is that we're getting big enough now that we really need codes that can be enforced. If we're gonna have codes, let's make them so they can be enforced. And I would like to have a committee with whoever, and Chad and Mark, and go through these codes to see what is no longer effective and what would be more effective. I don't want to control the color of paint of the house, but from what I've understood, and correct me if I'm wrong, that some things just nothing can be done about because we don't have
Something stringent enough in place to
Right.
to,
With
to handle
teeth
it
in
all
it.
the time, and I think it would also be beneficial for a committee to get together just for everyone to really get a good understanding of what we do have and
Exactly.
what we may want, and be able to discuss that.
I think it might be good to ask some input from the community as to what standards the community wants.
exactly. Yeah. Well, I would, if it works out that way, I would be happy to serve on that committee.
Well, I think we need to, codes report too. I think we need to clean our own up before we get somebody else clean theirs up.
Help me with this. You're saying before I ask somebody to clean up their yard, I
Before you
need to
take me and clean
clean
my yard up, the city council needs, the city needs to clean what they got up.
Absolutely, city should be
Now,
included
how
in
long
any
we own that
codes.
property for next to the senior citizens place?
6 months.
Wow.
A while. It's still sitting there. We need to clean that up before we entertain anything.
I agree with you completely.
You understand what I'm saying?
But do we,
4 or 5
Just-
months, I guess.
just as an example, do the codes that we have now have teeth to make the city do it?
No,
See,
they don't.
I'm not even sure, but I do know there's probably critters and unsavory animals that are living in there that I would think we'd have enough to clean it.
well, that's why I think it's time
Well,
for
it's
us.
3 days after we went through it. So,
I would like
You can do it in the
to
budget
see an
to do
overhaul of
The first thing that we have to do is, is all the stuff that's on the inside, we have to surplus anything that we're gonna dispose of. And I know that there may be some things that's valuable historically or in some way in there. So we really need to assess what may be of some value to someone and how to properly dispose of that property. And whatever, like I know, the day that several of us went through it, there's some old record albums, for example, from 1902, laying around in there. And that's in the middle of a pile of stuff that's piled up as high as this table, so I have no idea what may or may not be in there. But I would hate to just tear it down or burn it without doing the things that we need to do to properly dispose of it and then going through it. So
So I would think that we would probably need to vote to surplus whatever's in there in some way and then determine how we're gonna, and Todd, I'd lean on you how to sort that out.
Where we gonna put it at?
Well, I would think some of the things that are historical, we could put on loan at the Marshall County Historical Museum until we request them back. I mean, they do take loans. I think that they may be overcrowded now too. But I am hoping that eventually someday we will get a branch of the museum here in Chapel Hill. But I do think there are some of the papers and things we could make vertical files that we could put on loan there, or some of the things even in the library at the genealogy, depending upon what they are. They have a genealogy room at the Marshall County Library that contains quite a few things. So we could find places to at least put some on.
Well, going back to Jackie's suggestion, isn't it about time we be doing that instead of talking about
That's
it?
correct. I think we need to be doing it. We need to, if we go, I know that our codes needs to be looked at. I know we're probably outdated back in the 40s, 30s and 40s, probably some of them are. They need to be looked at.
But like I said, we need
Before
to
we
clean
start
our house.
changing it, we need to clean our own stuff up before we.
Well, what would be required to get that place cleaned up?
Well, it's a good time to go in there now because I would think animals are at least higher than the
I
snakes.
know. Who goes in there? Do we hire a firm or do we go in there?
I ain't going back.
I mean,
I don't want to, but I mean, this is something everybody says has got to be cleaned up.
Yeah.
I would love for you to do it, but
I'm telling you right
You know,
now, I ain't going
I
back
don't
in
mind
there.
looking at some of the stuff and say, this is who this family, there are things in there from families that are, longtime Chapel Hill families that I would recognize the names and, what it is. And then there's things in there I don't have a clue, I'm sure.
well, what do you suggest we do about getting it cleaned up?
the only thing that I would, the only thing,
No, but I can't
yeah,
say.
I mean,
burn it.
we could do that. But if any of the stuff that may or may not have any value is gonna be salvaged, there's things that I would think that this board needs to do to vote to surplus it and dispose of it in some way.
Like I've got a flag that I done told Mary and everybody. It's the old American flag, casket flag with 48 stars on it. It needs to go somewhere.
It's in that
Bigger
house?
stores.
Came from that house.
I've got
But it's not in there now.
No.
I've got that old doll that, I poured out of the attic sitting in here in the closet.
Well,
I know it is. Last
and
year,
you think there's more
1949.
stuff in there that needs,
I think there very well could
so who
be.
makes that call?
I mean, there's stuff in there though that you think might not have value, but it does, like old coffee cans and things like that people buy those tin cans.
Right, but somebody's got to, we're complaining about animals getting in there, but somebody's got to get in there. Now, if that,
You ain't ever gonna try to fit that buzzard in that back shed either.
I don't want to do it. We need to either get somebody to do it or hush up about other people's backyards.
But we can, like I say, I mean, we can put it on the ground if that's what we choose to do, but I think that there may be
I think there's a
some
lot of
opportunity.
stuff in there we need
Yeah,
to get
I mean,
out.
my husband
Who
would
is
go
we?
through it.
Do what?
Part of
Who
it.
is
He
we?
said
If we gotta
no.
hire somebody to go in there.
Okay,
We
well,
need
I
to
say
get in there.
hire. Nobody here appears to want to.
No, I'm not going back in.
Found a lot of
Well, now-
gold in there, man.
There's possibility, but there are people who need to look through some of the papers before
Well,
they're
who would
thrown
those
away.
people be?
Well, I would do that. I don't mind looking at historical things, but I think there's so much it's going to take more than me and
I'll
my
be happy to
husband.
help.
I'll help move stuff around.
I'll
that.
help go through
If you've
stuff.
looked at what's in that house,
I
it
have
would
not.
take it would take a very long time.
Long time.
I think there's probably some other historical people that's interested in the history that would.
Does it have electricity or heat?
No.
Have you been in there since they took out about 4 or 5 truckloads of stuff out of there? You were in there after they took all that out?
After they took it out.
Oh, they left a lot then.
Oh yeah.
Funny,
'Cause I saw what they were hauling out, so.
as tall as that desk there in one of the bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
They took the clothes out of the dressers and threw them in the middle of the floor.
Who did
took the old
they? The
dressers
people who
out.
moved out?
No, the family of the people that
Yeah.
left it to.
Previous owner.
Well, we, a lot of times, and I'm the worst thing to say, we need to do this. Well, we need to do this, and get it done. Let's do it, or quit talking about it and burn it down.
Let me know when you're gonna do it, and I come there and sit on the front porch.
Well,
Well, I,
now,
like I
if-
said, I will do it. I don't want to.
we need to
There's
get a
nothing in
thing
there I
to throw
want.
stuff in. There's obviously
do.
things that need to be thrown in it. You know, and I will see if I can't find some local people that will,
So what can we get?
Tommy will help. I will force
I
them.
I believe the city manager can order us a dumpster up there.
There you go. Sit it
And
down.
That
just
would
start
be
throwing
throwing
in
stuff
a
in.
little at a time of stuff. If it's raining one day, employees can't do anything outside, send them down there and say, okay, we're gonna go through this thing.
It's like
Yeah,
going
we
to
can
your
go back.
grandmother's house. You have to go through
I saw
every
the front
piece of
porch and
paper.
tell them,
Yeah,
Oh, it's,
Todd, what, legally, what do we have to do to dispose of the contents of the
Yeah,
place?
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Anything of value, we probably need to set aside, and whether that's historical value or just monetary value, and have it declared surplus and dispose of it. But you know, I don't think anybody would object if you just go through and if you determine it's junk, just putting it in the dumpster.
But it's all junk to me.
yeah, but you know, he's got new shirts and ties still in plastic bags and
you know, and going
they're
back,
dry rotted.
Nobody.
You know, they've been there 40-something years.
Put no trespassing signs on it. Wait
Well,
for
they've been
people-
there, that have
I was
caused some
gonna say, wait
kids.
for people to go in there. and
I
then-
think the police department done caught some kids in there once or twice too. So we need to do something with
putting out the old telephone books from Chapel Hill that
Yeah.
go back to the 50s.
That would be wonderful, but are they working? They really?
No.
Oh, well, they are Monday.
Take 'em home.
Go down there and get them.
Go down and get them.
What's the plan for the property?
You know, we don't have a plan in stone. We had talked about the possibility of expanding the community center in some way. We talked about moving the house back and making a museum. We talked about doing some type of parking for town. I mean, we've just talked about a lot of things right now. It's just a strategic investment.
So there's no urgency to get it until somebody gets in and
Gets hurt
dies.
gets hurt.
because there's broken glass and stuff on the floor.
There's holes in the
Whatever.
floor.
But somebody give us $50,000 property.
So Todd, in order to go through it, you don't think that we need to do anything just to go through it, but once we determine that there's things that may be of value, then we need to list those items in surplus.
I think so, yeah. Just
Okay.
to do, do a very rough inventory, not item for item necessarily, but just separate the junk from the things of value.
Well, I bet you, we'll be talking about this in July. Nobody would have been in office.
Well, if we don't want to go in there in July, there might be snakes.
And it's hot.
And it's
Now's the
hot.
time to do it.
Now's the time to do it.
Well, then let's do it. Let's have a work party on Saturday.
I'll volunteer to help.
I'm sure.
If you're there, I'll be there.
ask-
And we,
I'll
I
ask-
can-
Tell me what time
I
it
can-
is.
I'll make a list of it sitting on the front porch.
I'll
for y'all
ask
bring it
Dale
up.
Brown.
Well, that, somebody will have
It
to
ain't
do
gonna
that.
bother me.
They just
I'll throw it away.
Ask Dale Brown.
And people who know about stuff, like I said, it's all trash to me.
Call the dude from American Figures, let him go through and sell over to them that one bundle.
Yeah.
All right, we got the code report done. Police report, everybody look at that. I have everything from that. I think he hired another officer, Bruce Davis, good fella. Now, we got to vote on every one of these, right? The TA report, and all that. Yes, sir, none of that.
No.
Financial report,
I have one thing, I read it, you know that. There's one we have really gone over budget a lot.
budgeted, it should have been higher.
But now I don't know about the car that we, maintenance of the car, the 300% on that. That's all I have on the budget. Or on the expenditure.
I'll check in then,
Pardon?
I said, I'll double check that one.
We must have had something to break down.
No, I shouldn't have that much. Probably something just got misclassified.
You talking about repairing and maintenance, motor vehicles, $109. Sit on the water.
No, it's on the general government.
It's right here on this one, so we spent 3 times what we budgeted already, which is halfway through the year.
See,
I just kinda wondered what it was, anytime I see it.
yeah, no, I thought we checked that out. Fairly certain that's probably should have been someone else. The only thing I can think of on that vehicle is a new charge, but I think that's falling into that 366. No, theirs would have been 261. That's what I mean, that $366. Oh, yeah. I'd have to look at that, 260.
Sorry.
Any old business we need to go through? Alrighty. Resolution 1837, dancing on the duck.
We did a lot of things and I made to approve.
We got a motion to approve. We have a second. Got a motion second. Call the vote.
Alderman Falconberry?
Yes.
Alderman Norton?
Yes.
Alderman Williams?
Yes.
Alderman Joyce?
Yes.
Alderman Hill? Alderman Moore?
Yes. On this waste management thing, we're gonna talk about that, we're gonna defer that. All right. Renew health insurance plan.
Our renewal rates came in at -5% on one plan and 3% on the other plan, which is unheard of. So I'm recommending that we move forward with the same 2 plans that we have. And the one change I'm recommending is to entice more people to go to that less expensive plan. We up that contribution from 2,300 to 2,600, and then also I think that was it.
So I wanna make sure, it was the less expensive plan that went up by 3% and the more expensive plan that went.
That's correct. But the reason the more expensive plan decreased is because they went up from 20 to 50 on the copay to urgent care services. So where it used to cost them $20 to go over here to rapid care, now it's $50 to go cost to go to rapid care.
And this plan's good until when, 2001?
Till next year. That's all of next calendar year.
So all of 2019.
That's correct. And the other thing I was recommending is that we grandfather in everyone that is currently employed, but anyone that from this point on is new hire, if they chose the more expensive plan, they would pay the difference in the two.
Move to approve.
Got a motion to approve.
The only thing I'm gonna discuss is, and I brought it up before, eventually, I don't see see us paying 100% of our insurance. We're the only people that's left anywhere that pays 100%, and we pay our employees very well, plus 100% insurance. I think at some point in time, we gotta look at not paying them 100% insurance. That's my opinion.
I think you'll have to, I think we ought to look at grandfathering people we done started. with.
Yes,
You
start
hired
at
to
some
do it.
point in time, not.
Because, you know, you don't tell a man that's been working here 12, 15 years, now he gonna have to pay his insurance and his contract, not his contract, but when he was hired, the agreement he had with the city, he's gonna pay his insurance, now you might be looking at something else come up, and we won't get into
I
that.
do agree with that. I think it's gonna impact us some, whatever we decide to do about water too, I think. Basically, if we were to sell the water, you know, how does that impact how many employees we have? I mean, because basically we have,
All we have is the police and what works in the office.
and what works in the office, but we have 2 of those that are half-time paid through public utilities, so that would bring it down to 1. So, you know, then you may only have 1 right there for insurance on that, see? So, I think that's somewhere we need to wait. I don't think we should, I think new hires should have a different, you know.
That's the only thing, I
Excuse
said,
me,
we
Mark.
need to look at that, I
Are we
don't know.
done with the density of that votes or this evening? Are they
Yeah, it-
receiving a check or anything in that?
Yeah, they'll be receiving a check now because it's been approved.
Is it, they're asking if this is okay for them to leave?
No, I think if we have to
Okay.
stay, you have to stay.
I'll go Subway and get y'all some.
Appreciate it.
We
Thank
won't
y'all.
be allowed.
Gonna ham and cheese.
All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
But yeah, and I think health insurance is something that we'll have to continue to assess every year because we got a really good renewal this year. It might be 25% next year. We just have to take it year to year and see what we can do.
I just know last year it really increased on us. This year it's kind of level, it's like the same. We had a motion. I second.
Get a motion second. Call roll.
Alderman Williams.
Yes.
Alderman Morton.
Yes.
Alderman Foxenberry.
Yes.
Alderman Lawrence.
Yes.
Alderman Hill. Alderman Joyce.
Yes.
Any other business?
What about this
Yeah, we got
last thing?
the transportation.
Oh, the transportation, I'm sorry. Resolution 1840, set T-Dot's Marsh County Comprehensive Transportation Plan.
This, all we would be doing here is basically saying that, thanking TDOT for doing this for us and saying that we'll be glad to use this as a guide, for future decisions. It doesn't say that we'll do or not do anything in there. It's just saying that we'll use that document as a guide.
That's second.
Any discussion? I'm not good with
Alderman Joyce.
Yes.
Alderman Hill. Alderman Lawrence.
Yes.
Alderman Williams.
Yes.
Alderman Morton.
Yes.
Alderman Foxenberry.
Yes.
What, did we vote, or do we have to, or whatever, on this waste management thing? Did we make any kind of decision about that?
That's earlier when we was going through the reports, we said we were gonna do an RFP and put
Okay.
that back on there for
Fine.
next month.
What other services are around here that'd be big enough to handle our demand?
That's one of the things that will have to be written very clearly in the RFP is,
Can you do it?
yeah.
Hughes and Volunteer, the only 2 other trash services that I'm familiar with around here. Now the room could.
it. Yeah, but they carried over to waste management.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a
They gonna
formality.
get their money anyway.
Regardless.
Yeah, that'll have to be written in there as,
Is there a separate contract with somebody picking up trash around Chapel Hill that we're not aware of?
There is out in the county, but, I mean, I can still call Tennessee Volunteer Company if my trash up, but I gotta pay them myself, and I still gotta pay it.
Wow.
$10.
You do both, you do both.
Yeah.
I gotta do both.
So we don't give an option.
Right. Right, we don't have an option, you gonna pay that with your water bill. That's the reason, you know,
Honest.
Well, he's a good kid, runs that, I like to see him get it, think he get it. Waste management has done a good job. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. No, I'm not denying that. Really
the only complaint I got with Waste Management, they put them cans in the ditch or in the driveway, I'm tired of running those.
Either the middle of the road or the ditch, you're right. They don't
They
stay
put
back
them
when
out,
you get them.
yeah.
Put them out in the middle of the road when they
Yeah.
grab them, they just throw them out there.
Mine's in the middle of the road.
We
wide.
need it. We'll make road trip then.
We-
I think they should be talking. They can do it.
I had a conversation with Waste Management a couple weeks ago, and what they're supposed to do is put them back exactly where they were when they picked them up. So that's what they're told to do. So if they pick them up in a good spot, they should be put back in a good spot.
I take a picture of mine.
It's Debbie that's supposed to do it.
Yeah, sometimes going down Maple Street, you have to.
Yeah.
It's a little dangerous.
Probably you gotta get the
Well,
zigzag.
it's not only that though, you got your mail people that's trying to deliver the mail.
That's right.
They can't even get to the mailbox with the garbage can sitting right there next to it, out in the road. They gotta get out of the car and put the mail in there. I put a brush guard on my mail truck with me. I don't understand it. That's other business.
That's an easy fix, y'all.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I said,
Well, wait a minute before we, let's wait a minute, wait.
No, just make a
wait.
motion.
we got,
Let's think about this water thing a little bit now. We're going to Whitwell here pretty quick. We gotta call down there and get us a number. I'll talk to you later about that. We need to call down and find out when the mayor's gonna be there, who we can talk to get the lowdown on it. If we can get the number of the old mayor that was down there, if it's not the same one, we need to know about those. That person, how's it going now? Or some of the city council that could be down there, it don't make any difference to me.
And how long they had it? Did they say that?
5 years.
5 years.
So that big been 5 years ago.
But the same people are running Chattanooga water too. Is that right? What I understood?
If you can Google that, you'll find as many good reviews as bad ones.
Well, why ain't you got the water and sewer in Chattanooga? They got
It's a
some.
good question.
They said they won't go into the sewer business. I guess they won't try a little hook before they get the big fish.
you know yourself, most of the time you give a review is when you're mad about
Right.
something. And if they've got as many bad ones as they got good ones, then they're probably ahead. You know
I'm
what
satisfied
saying?
that Whitwell right now knows that the Chapel water system is in bad shape because they probably use M-Task and everybody else the same way. Is that correct?
Yeah, I imagine it would be
They
too
probably
difficult
use
for them to figure
M-Task
it
and them, and they already know that we're in bad shape, just like that man standing right there talking, nobody's in bad shape. When they first come down here 2 or 3 years ago, and we supposedly didn't know, but it's something snaky in that. That's my opinion.
So they've been here before?
They contacted me for the first time probably six months ago. And then after they came and talked to me, that's when we set it up for them to talk to the water board. And you know, I don't know of any contact before that point. Like I say, I didn't even know they
Have we
existed.
talked to anybody lately on the board since 6 months ago that we all got together and agreed upon, even this board voted to go forward with Columbia and
With the county.
the county?
I
Have we heard
have.
anything from them?
I've had actually had a good conversation with Tommy Whaley, and I would like to see that. That's why I asked that one question about projects that we have in the works, and you know, would they be willing to prioritize according to what we've got going on and all that stuff. I would like to see us go ahead and put do a contract with Marshall County Board of Public Utilities stating that we're going to participate in that project on the south side to upgrade that line from Lewisburg.
Now,
like
did we
talked about.
already approved the money for us to go ahead and do that? We told them we was on board with that, right?
We haven't approved any money.
That was a grant?
We kind of gave them
you know,
Those,
word of confidence that we were gonna participate, but we haven't had a hard number to actually vote on.
I just wonder where we stand at on that. 'cause
But I would love to see us go ahead and do a contract with him that, you know, kind of solidifies our participation in that to not only guarantee, you know, put some guarantees on, you know, we're moving forward with getting another source of water.
Because what I understood at our meeting is that that's gonna be more than enough for us to tie in with whatever size of the line that was at the time, the 6-inch line.
There's two projects that the county currently are working on. One is the tie-in with Columbia Power and Water, which they're not asking for any participation from us because that doesn't come to us directly. That would, you know, anything, that would just help them have the capability to supply water to us. There's a hydraulic issue that the county has, you know, with pushing the amount of water that they need to all over the north end of the county through 6-inch lines. So what this project that they're asking for participation with us is they're wanting to upgrade the line basically all the way from Lewisburg up to Henry Horton Park, that would allow them to push as much water as we would ever need through that line, and there would no longer be a hydraulic issue. And we believe by far and away that is the least expensive option that we have to get water here. Now, we still haven't solved the source issue, but that solves short term.
What's the advantage of you doing all that extra work for them if we sell it to them, Mark?
What do you mean doing all that extra work?
Well, well, you're going through all the trouble of getting the water here for them if we sell it to them.
no, we're buying it from them.
No, for the American Water, Jackie.
Oh, okay.
You're going through all the trouble of getting it here. If we're getting it here ourselves, why don't we just keep it ourselves?
I don't think that and this is just my personal opinion. I don't think when we talk about whether or not we should sell it, that the conversation, in my opinion, needs to be about who can do what and who can do it in a timely manner, who has the capability to provide what to the customer. You know, just work back from the customer. If I'm a customer, who can get me what I need, you know, the best. Because we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna move forward with everything that we've talked about, regardless of whether this conversation goes any further. So it just needs to be a good, honest conversation about can we do it as good as this private company can do it, and what would losing control of the utility, how would that impact everyone?
Because, and honestly, all I heard from them is that you're going down there, you're doing the honest work. Their attitude is, they're going to go down and write them a check, and they're going to give me water.
If they
That's what I heard from those folks. Am I wrong?
if they were to buy the system, they would immediately look for more source, just simply because they're in the business of selling water.
Right.
So they're immediately going to go to the county or look to get a permit out of the river or whatever they deem is the best way to go. But they're immediately going to look for more source because they want to sell the most water that they can sell.
I understand that.
To me, it looks like they really need the county. You know, they really need the county.
They're gonna have to.
They looked at us, and I think he may have even mentioned it. They're trying to get into this area. That, you know, they're not thinking that they can buy us and make a killing off of our utilities. They're looking to get into this area. They're looking to show people that you know, that they're a good company, and they're looking to buy other facilities.
Right.
I mean, that's their goal. I just don't, you know, I think that it's a trend that you'll see more and more of. I think as long as they're doing what they're supposed to do with their customers, I think you'll see more and more utilities turn that way.
I see a lot of advantages with it. I just, I'm with the choice that they're going to have to tell me where they're getting the water from, because if you can't get it, neither can they. I don't care if their pocketbook is bigger.
You know, what I can't understand, explain this to me now, this water that's coming from Lewisburg up here at that bigger pipe. push the water to us, correct, for the north end of the county. We're gonna put that money in for it. Where they gonna get the water from? The city's done made all the water they can make.
In Lewisburg,
Yeah. Because it's, all the water comes from Lewisburg City now,
that's correct.
except what little bit we pump out of here.
That's correct.
Now, where they gonna get the water? Where the city of Lewisburg gonna get the water to furnish all this?
What happened to the end of 99, Columbia adding on theirs and coming this way?
That's still.
It's still in the making.
Okay.
Another thing, and I'm
That's
just
the one I like.
throwing things out, as far as when we sell this operation, if we sell it.
Yeah.
If we sell the operation, there are some people here who have invested in this over a long period of time. They've lived here and paid those rates for 30, 40,
Yes,
50
if I don't want to
years.
lose control.
Which, you know, and then you've got someone who has been here for 5 years versus someone who's paid it for 50 years. I mean, there's a little more invested with some people than others.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you protect those people? You know, I don't know. I'm just throwing that out because I'm one of those that's been here for 50 years.
And I'm one of them that ain't willing to give it up too quick.
Here from my house.
Well, I'm not either. I'm not
I'm not
gonna give it up, no. But we come down to a dilemma here. We're gonna have to do something. We're gonna raise these rates. We're gonna do this, and we ain't long to raise these rates, people. I'm telling you.
Well, the 1st of January, isn't it?
But even where it's the rate, I mean, we still got to do something to get the water.
Right.
That's the
We're still
recommendation.
waiting on MTS to send it, the printout down here, exactly what we can do. Is that right?
And
That's correct.
we've received that update, that
Okay.
updated recommendation.
But I just know that these people with lots of money have more leverage than we do to get things, and they will get a straw in the river easier than we will. That's just the way money talks, and they got money. That's basically,
It makes the world spin.
Yeah,
so, you
that's
know.
why they're in business and we
But
bottom out.
I also have come to the conclusion over the years, and being someone who worked in the public sector, that private usually gets things done a whole lot better than government.
Because they got more money than we got, than the government's got.
I think it's.
They hold people more accountable too.
And it's
I
like,
think.
I mean, it's HCA all over again, it's the same.
It's just the way that it's structured. I mean, they're structured to make decisions, build projects, and make a profit. And governments are not structured that way. It's nothing against any government or any private business. They're just structured differently.
We're structured here to take care of the people, but they're not. You understand what I'm saying? A big business not. They could care less as long as they get that money in there.
Yeah, but you're
We got
right.
hearts here
Good and
that
bad
we want to take
side.
care of these people out here we got here that are just paying these bills. Paying that great big salary they're making. Y'all making tons of money. But we need to go on and entertain this, I think, and look at it till we get everything together on it and talk to them people down there. I want to see it, people. Well, I want to look at them.
I think that's the smartest idea.
I want to look at them. I mean, I don't want to get on this TV and look at them through the TV and stuff. I don't do that. I want to walk down there, walk that field and say, when's a good time for us to come? Bam, we're down there.
Then walking
4 hours later, 3 hours later, we're down there. I'll drive and we'll get down there and look at it because I want to talk to them. I think we really need to. Unless y'all want to go, and I'll sit here. It don't make a difference to me. But I think we need to get ready to look at that and talk to them.
One thing you and I agree on wholeheartedly, Jackie, the worst part of this is we knew we haven't had a rate increase in, 10 years?
All right.
If we would have gradually raised it over the last 10 years, that 30% wouldn't have hurt so much.
So I understand that. I understand that.
The ball got dropped a whole lot of years
The
ago.
ball got dropped several years ago. And I don't want to get into that. It got dropped several years ago.
The sewer ain't went up none either.
It has since we have did the
I
SRL.
think so too. I think the sewer did.
It has since we've approved this last project, but that's the only time it's went up.
Yeah, I got a thing for Chris. Did you pick that up or?
Not yet. Mr. Karpinski is here to ask for reimbursement on his interest and penalties he paid on his 2015 lot for his property taxes. The issue that had happened is they got turned over and the notices were being sent to a different address we had in our system than his address. So he never got a notice, and he's here to get reimbursed for the interest.
I didn't own the property in 15. It was on Tommy, the property behind you, Tommy, the estate. You know, the property in the back. But 15 taxes. I got it in 16 from Lynn Lawrence. I took it back over from her, to hold it for her. And so I just got the notice that they're gonna sell it within 30 days. I had to go down and rush to pay taxes. For $42 worth of taxes, I cut $262 I had to pay. For $42 in back taxes. And the thing is, for the back taxes, for that year and whatever they account of the interest, I've been paying, they've been sending me the bill for the taxes through my proper address here, but they've never caught up with the addresses. So I just wondered, why do I need to pay the back taxes? For the, for the last couple of years, I've been paying the taxes on the property now. I'm still paying interest for the back years, for the last 2 years too. So I'm just wondering, because I didn't own the property in 15. Tommy Lawrence, it was in his mother's estate at the time. So when I got it back in 16, I paid the taxes on
Who
it.
got the bill?
Well, they were sending it to 607, P.O. Box 607, which is Tommy's old P.O. Box number. And I've never gotten it. So
So
within
you
30
didn't
days,
realize that you had never gotten a bill?
I've been paying my taxes on it since I've owned the property. But they've gone back to back taxes before I bought the property.
I vote to forgive it, whatever. I make that motion. It's a clerical error.
Because they said they've been sending the mail out to them, the 607, P.O. Box 607, but they never get a return. I said, if they get a return, if you get the letter back in the mail, you should be looking into it. Somebody wasn't doing the job, and it's cost me money.
All our mailing addresses we get from the property assessor. And so when I don't get an official change of address, or when a notice goes out and it doesn't get returned, the address just does not get changed. So that's where it kind of fell through the cracks.
Right, fell through the cracks. And I've been
How
paying
much money have you spent?
$265.20. Chris has a copy of all the paperwork. I don't mind paying the 40, if I have to pay the $42, but all the other interest, certified mail and come in a regular mail, so it wasn't
He
certified.
pays the tax he owes, but the penalties and stuff.
All the penalties, all the court costs, a little bit interest.
So the taxes that are due was due
Was
on
$42.
land. Okay, the taxes that was due were taxes with land that you didn't even own at the time.
Correct.
So,
Well, Chris will know.
I don't mind paying that, the county, I had to pay some of the back taxes when I did the county. So I thought I asked here when I pay the city taxes.
Has it been changed now, Andy?
Oh, yeah, everything.
Yes.
See, I've been getting the proper tax rates I've been paying for the last 2 years, but I'm still paying interest for that $42 for the last 3 years. That's what I'm saying for the part.
I think that would got done over in escrow when you sold the property and bought it. All the back taxes should have been paid, you would think. Apparently it did. So,
How do you, Brad?
They messed
I
up
want to know how
something.
your taxes are only $42. I want to talk to now.
It's an acre lot, that
Funny how
lot.
that didn't get caught.
It's a dead lot off my parents'
You got
property.
50 by 100, 913 city taxes.
because
$13
he
city
wasn't
tax on
notified
50 by
because
100 lot.
it wasn't him they were sending the bill to.
Well, why am I
It was the guy
taxing
who
so
owned the
much higher?
We got a big
$42.
house on it, I got a garden on
Yeah, no,
that.
eventually come into a tiny house.
So, in reality, the person who owed the $42 owes him the difference, but it's just coming to bite us.
Okay, Tommy Lawrence will pay him back in, right?
Actually, he's paying the tax, but not the penalties and the.
Right, yeah.
See, all the penalties, we're not.
But it wasn't his land at the time. The notice is going to whoever owned the land. That's what the problem is.
Sometime that land got turned over.
No, it went to the
Man.
previous owner.
That's what I'm saying. It went to Tommy. This is where the bill was going. He's the one that owed the $42, not him.
Well, I didn't care about the $42. I just cared about the rest of the money. It cost $265 to pay a $42 bill. That's what I'm
Is
saying.
that the 42 inside that 265?
You sell property.
It's hard to tell. Yes, they do.
We can take $42 off of that.
I'd be happy.
Okay, $42 off 265, get a motion on that?
Got the
I have a
notice.
motion.
Second. I second.
I appreciate it.
All in favor?
There ain't more discussion on it.
No.
Okay. There's first and second. You'll call roll on that, Big Daddy.
Now, that's the county money though. I had had to pay the county, will you?
We
You
cut you the
reimburse?
check.
Okay,
We're gonna cut you the check.
okay.
Alderman Williams,
Yes.
Alderman Norton,
Yes.
Alderman Dogberry.
Yes.
Lawrence.
Yes.
Alderman Hill. Alderman Joyce.
Does the city owe him? Have we got any taxes on him?
No, he's current.
I'm all current on taxes, I make sure of that.
He's current.
Get a motion to adjourn, anybody?
I've moved to adjourn. That's
I'll
my
make a
job.
second.
That's the only job I have.
First, second. Y'all wanna talk on roads, just get up and walk out.
He has our calendars in his vehicle.
I do.
Oh, good.
Wow.
I was told to make him for different.
What about Christmas parade? We may go, we're gonna do the show up Easter, y'all do anything?
Everybody wants to
float's
watch
done.
it at my
The
house.
float will be done
We're
tomorrow.
partying.
You getting your old car out? You getting your old car out?
I will let y'all know when I get a dumpster over there to that house, and we'll set a date for whoever wants to go over there.
I'm off on Saturday, I'm golden. You know, Saturday or Sunday, those are
Okay,
your days
Saturday,
right here.
okay.
Yeah, I can do Saturday too, I think, so I'll work on getting a dumpster over there, between now and then.
I'll be there.
Don't put that dumpster on top of that septic tank out there.
Where is it?
It's not one.
We ain't be there. 5-gallon drum out there, Mark. The one that we worked off of?
Yeah, the one that we worked off of.
You said that, I'm like,
So I had it, 'cause I didn't remember. It's okay. We're not gonna get with it here, so we have.
Go on. I'm slow.
We just wanna get-
I imagine what happens is
Pay the resolution, that's what those kind of
up to the county.
orange flags, kind of, we can
They probably did.
Never got it.
Because you're still with
What happened was. Right. And, once they,
Might just be a
remainder of the
No matter of us
Yeah.
and not having to do any more voting on it.
Because if we have a resolution.
You gonna ban the parade?
I can
What's
send
that,
that to
sir?
You gonna
them.
buy anything?
Yes, I ride this in my green one, and then when the Razor comes up, and my grandbaby drives that one.
More money than God.
all right, well, I need to check.